Morning, folks. It is Wednesday morning, so it's car booty day at the Polmadie markets, right where I work, and I certainly don't want to be going in there on the motorbike, not on the motorbike, in the car rather, because the traffic's usually chaos. Get the green turns on my screen. I've got a brand new hedge unit there, I just really need to get it done. That requires getting my finger at my arse, which I've failed to do for a long time. Anyway, should have been a podcast going up live tonight at 5:30. Unfortunately, due to both guests, so that's one for this week's podcast and one for the next fortnight's podcast. One having not long been in a motorcycling accident, and the other one is just rather poorly at the moment. I've been unable to come on. Sod's law, but you know, I'd rather these people get well. We will have them on at a later date. That's already planned, but I just wanted to come on and let you know that despite my plan to have a podcast every fortnight on a Wednesday, that it's not going to happen tonight. I could have probably rushed out and found someone to come on with, but that would have been last minute stuff. And wouldn't have been the right kind of person, because I've already researched and done the stuff, and asking somebody to jump in last minute, well, do you know what, maybe it would have worked, I don't know, but rather than do that, I thought I'll just come on here, be honest with you, it's not happening. But the next one, we've got the guests lined up, we've been doing research, Charlotte's been doing research. She's been speaking to various groups and folk that I'm interested in having on the channel, because there's a lot of groups out there that are very much related to this type of thing, you know, grief and mental health, and support bodies out there, and I wish to get them on. You can see I'm not in the motorway. See, why did that Jag overtake me speeding? What was the point? But I could see the traffic up ahead, so what really was the point? That worked in my favour. So the plan this morning is to come along here. This is Glasgow Road into Paisley Road, and this we're approaching Helen Street. And I just jump onto the motorway at Helen Street for the last sort of stretch, which I need the M74 to take me to Polmadie and get into work. I now need to race this car away for the lights. I'm running about in dynamic mode still. It's been in dynamic mode since I went to run. Anyway, so yeah, we've been doing a lot of research. We've got a lot of great people lined up for the podcast, so things are looking good in that department. So please bear with me while we iron out the kinks. Also, this camera, this is an Ace Pro, Insta360 Ace Pro. Somebody asked what kind of camera it is, and I love it. Absolutely love it, and I think the audio is pretty decent. But it's plugged in via an audio adapter, a cable that's attached to the side of the camera, which is all fine and well, but I keep knocking the frigging thing off. It's a constant problem. Every time I shut or open my lid, this side, which is the side you shoot with the wee tab, I knock the cable out, and that's a problem. That's a nuisance. So I thought, oh, I've got a pair of Mic 2s, DJI Mic 2s, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, what if I Bluetooth a mic to it? No, I can't do that. It doesn't want to talk to the mic. So I've been looking at options. I don't know what options there are, but I know a lot of people are using the Osmo Action 4 and the 5 Pro, etc. And having a wee look on the DJI website, the 5 Pro, apparently you can take two Mic 2s, or Mic Minis, or whatever they're called, whatever ones. So I'm thinking, that would allow myself and my pillion Charlotte to talk and have good audio, crisp and clear into the cam, because someone said it would be good to hear Charlotte, hear your conversation, and it would be. Now if I had a different type of comms system, like maybe a Cardo system or an external Sena system, you sometimes can plug a cable with a Y splitter into it, but this is a built-in integrated system, the Sena SLR, SRL, I don't know, SLR I think, and obviously it doesn't have a function to plug a mic on because it's all built into the helmet, which means that option is quite clearly out the window. And then the decision is, well, what do? I don't know what to do. So I can get a Osmo Action 5 Pro, I think, for 329 quid. I'm sure it's about that price. And but that only, I'm assuming, has one battery with it. I would have passed this Nissan Juke if it had moved over to the left slightly. You know what, I'm going to pass it anyway. There's room. So I don't know how much the batteries are individually, but that was me looking on the DJI website. Concentrating, folks, concentrating. As you know, this is my usual nonsense in the mornings. See these lines in the middle of the road, the dividing lines? There's like a flipping groove, it's like a canyon along the middle sometimes. I'm going to get by before this truck comes out. I see the patience. I used to have patience to sit in all this nonsense, but nowadays it's like, nope, you're alright, can't be bothered. And it's amazing when you filter every single day in life how used to it you get. You develop that sort of anticipation of people's movements, of what someone's going to do, or the traffic patterns and all that. It's quite amazing. Anyway, I digress. So camera, I'm thinking seriously of switching to the Osmo Action 5, not for any other reason other than being able to link up two DJI mics to it. And I think with me now having a pillion passenger again, would make a big difference. Now it's something Sarah and I never ever got a chance to do, which is a shame because it would have been lovely. But anytime Sarah was on the bike, to be honest with you, I didn't have this channel when Sarah was on the bike, so it really wasn't an issue, was it? I did do the odd bike thing in my media channel when I was going out with my drone and stuff, and I have a channel called CJW Media Paisley. Is it Paisley or is it just CJW Media? Anyway, which I made when I was a commercial drone operator because I was doing drone work for other folk, and I wanted to do some stuff for myself. So rather than going out and doing all this drone work and thinking, oh, that looks amazing, and then handing it over to the client and me not having any rights to use it because they've paid for it, I decided to make a channel and just pick my own little drone jobs and do some nice drone footage around the country. Some of that was out and about on the bike, but I mean the people that joined that channel, I think there's about 555 subscribers on it, and it's done nothing for years because of obviously the situation with Sarah. But the idea with that channel was to showcase drone work and photography. I did wedding photography and video and all that kind of stuff as well. So putting bike stuff on that channel was really just a no-no. People weren't there for that purpose, they weren't there for that interest. So I am planning to put some stuff back up on it, but I also plan to use the drone for any stuff that I may do on this channel if it's relevant. So if I'm out and about on the bike on a run and we're in a lovely place, nice, and there's a chance to show some beautiful footage and scenery, then why not? I think the drone could really enhance videos. So I really started using the drone commercially when I was doing weddings. People were asking me about using the drone for weddings, and I started using it as part of a video package when I was doing a wedding, and people loved it. I've been doing drones for donkey's years. I have a full GVC with CAA operational authorization, so I'm licensed to fly drones up to 25 kilograms. Providing a tier to the predefined risk assessment that my authorization runs under. But as a commercial pilot, if I'm doing jobs, I can do work under what's called the specific category, which is a more risk category than the standard open category, which nearly everybody flies their drones in. But in order to use the specific category, I've got to produce risk assessments and all that bump, which is easy enough. And I'm thinking of going back into commercial drone work, because while I've got a license and all that bump, my license is valid until 2027, and I'm thinking I might just keep hold of it. You need to renew my operational authorization, which is £250. It's not cheap every year, but what I need to do is, because of the past few years with Sarah, I've kind of let everything go, so I need to get my operations manual all up to date and see if it's actually acceptable, and I've got to send that off to the Civil Aviation Authority. They've got to approve it, approve the amendments on it, and if they're happy with it, then I'll get issued a certificate saying you can operate under the specific category with my predefined risk assessment, which is PDRA 01. So there you go, there's a lot of bump if you didn't know anything about drones. If anybody does want to know about drones, please ask, because I've been living and breathing drones since 2016, and as I said, I've got the full boona, I've got the full licence. I had to do a practical exam as well as all the online stuff and write an operations manual for the Civil Aviation Authority and all that stuff, so I'm a bit out of touch, I suppose. I need to get back into it. There's a lot of things been happening in the world of the CAA when it comes to drones. There's a lot of changes that the CAA want to make, so I need to kind of dig back in and get myself up to scratch, but I'm thinking of doing it commercially again, so that's the whole point of this blabbing on. But there you go. What else? Don't think there's anything else. I really want to come on to tell you about the podcast tonight. But you know what it's like, it's nice to have a wee blather, and then things come into my mind and I think, oh, maybe I could tell you about that and this and that. So this is me at the M74 junction for Paul Madee in Glasgow. I turn right here and I go up over the bridge, I turn left onto Jessie Street. That's where the car boot sales are, and it's usually absolutely heaving. There's no point in trying to scoot through the middle of the traffic. I can see down there that it's tight, so I'm going to have to just sit in it and suck it up. I've got 20 minutes before I'm doing work, so it's all fine. So there you go, folks. If you wonder what drones I use, just for those of you, I know there's some people, I watch some Peaky Bikers Midweek Mumble, the Haggis Whisperer does Motovlog Unplugged, and I watch these things, and quite often drones come up as a subject. I had 6 drones at one point. It's commercial drones, or what they call enterprise drones, so one for thermal imaging, one with a laser rangefinder on it. I had a big cinematic drone, DJI Inspire 2, DJI Mavic 3, DJI Air 3, I think, and the Mini 4 Pro, which is the only one I'm left with. But for doing commercial work, the Mini 4 Pro gets you away with so much, but it's not quite enough. So we've decided to invest in an Air 3S, which has the dual lens on it, so it's got a 3 times telephoto lens, which gives me a lot of scope when I'm doing commercial work and cinematic stuff. It's not quite as good as the triple lens in the Mavic 3 Pro Cine, but that's £5,000. I don't need to spend that now. The Inspire 2, I had to think to replace that now. An Inspire 3 would be about 12 grand. Thermal options, if I do go back to inspections and things like that. So I have the option. I know a guy that's got a drone company, so I've got the option to do like pylon inspections, bridge inspections and all these things, which requires a drone with a massive zoom lens and potentially thermal imaging capabilities. Well, DJI have released a new drone in that field. It's called the Matrice 4, and I think it's a sort of shrink of the M30T and sort of above the M3T, which is a Mavic 3 thermal version, enterprise version, and it's about $7,000. So if I'm going to go back into commercial work like that, then that's the sort of thing I'll have. But that's for the future. For the here and now, you're stuck with me like this, with this stuff, and I'll let you know if I decide to go down the road of the Osmo Action. And if I do, I will debut it this weekend, where you can hear Charlotte and I talking away together, and hopefully that will make the videos a bit more interesting. But anyway, lovely chatting to you as always. I hope you have a good Wednesday. Whatever you're doing, stay safe. Wet, soggy bends. Stay safe, look after yourself folks. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.